Yo, 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 yo. Colegas, lads and gents. Here we are, here we go. Aloha, lads and gents. Welcome back to a new episode of A Sense of Capital Crunch Time. Your host of today, as always, is Julian. And again, as always, I'm very glad to have all of you in. I already checked out if some audience is existing, and I recognized 3 people are already watching and joined the stream. So very thankful for this situation and very glad to have you in and feel comfortable, feel like it's your home, it's your living room. This is how it should be. And I have guests in the next in the past earning streams, I always taught something like 45 till 90 minutes, but most of the time 45 minutes, or actually I never reached a stream of 45 minutes. So let's be honest, something like 60 till 90 minutes, the upcoming 60 till 90 minutes, we will take care of today's earnings results release of Grab Holding, the food delivery or delivery mobility financial service and ad service provider out of Southeast Asia, located and headquartered in Singapore. That's what it is today. Guys, actually I can already state right now that I prepared this stream quite urgently in the last 2.5 hours, and I missed a little bit to charge up the battery of the notebook, of the equipment, so I hope it will work out actually. I'm confident, but I guess everything above 90 minutes streaming time will crash everything, so I hope Grab will be on time when announcing the results. It was not always the case in my history. At least I have the experience roughly 1 year ago at New Bank from Brazil that I had a stream of something like more than 3 hours, I guess, because I was waiting for the results. I'm still not sure if it was my mistake or the failure of New. However, it is how it is. So guys, before we're getting serious and we jump right into the briefing session in advance of the actual results, a quick disclaimer as always that in the upcoming minutes, this will not be financial advice, consultation whatsoever, and there's no guarantee of correctness of the provided data. Yeah, so always make sure you do your own due diligence, you do your own evaluation. It's your money, your life, and just important that you make sure you know what you're doing with it. Yeah, that is what I definitely need to point out right now. So guys, what we're talking about today is Grab. And for those of you who are very new to Grab, I guess most of you who found my stream are either already subscribers of my channel. Thank you very much for this status. Very, very thankful here. Or you very likely proactively, very specifically searched for Grab and to find someone who's talking about Grab and backing a little bit the results. And yeah, I hope in both cases you will leave later on the stream as a satisfied viewer, and if you're not done it yet, only later on, if you're satisfied and you are looking forward for further content, please feel free to subscribe to the channel or to my social media, X, Instagram, Reddit, whatsoever. Always keeps me motivated and ambitioned, and yeah, it's definitely some tailwind. However, guys, I would say we jump right into the actual stock, or actual company behind the stock, because at least I am an investor in companies and not in stocks. For me, it's always important the business case, the humans behind it, the management board, the customer base, the people who are working for them, the environment. So, however, let's briefly introduce you to Grab. And Grab, as you can see here already, is primarily separated in 3 major pillars, 3 core businesses, 3 key income drivers. And the 2 legacy ones is delivery business. So this is separated in, did I prepare it? However, that's separated in most of the time food delivery business, but as well partial, so packaged business, delivery business. These are the primary primary components of delivery. So that's the major driver, let's say it like this. Then the longest, the most legacy business is the mobility business. As you can see here, from A to B, yeah, transport. No matter if we talk about hailing a motorcycle, how you call it, a rickshaw with free wheels. Is it a rickshaw? In India, I think they call it rickshaw, but I'm not 100% sure about this. Or a regular car, yeah? So that's the mobility business. And of course, delivery is not only food, it's as well groceries, cosmetics, food not for humans, but as well for pets, really depending on all kind of needs, let's say it like this. And then the third and really most new pillar, what they're stating very, very aggressively here, and which will be more focused this time, first time in the earnings call reporting documentation, is the financial services. So first of all, payment services. Yeah, so of course makes sense if you have an app which is combining delivery services and mobility services, and everything is connected. These services are connected to doing payments at the end of the day for the consumers, for the clients, to involve and implement payment service, but as well insurance service and other financial service. And of course, and that is what we talked about right now, is the core Grab payment services, but there are external services which was or have been established quite newly, roughly a half year ago, and this is really full licensed banking equipped banking services. Yeah, GXS it's called in Singapore, and GX banking in Malaysia. Yeah, so this is how it looks. And so one more time, deliveries, mobility, and financial service. And there's a fourth pillar, but this is more the background secondary role it's having in, and that's advertisement. Yeah, so honestly, I mean, that's my youngest investment. I'm invested since end of last business year, so roughly half a year. Not that far ago, not that long ago. I invested initially, but originally I thought, okay, maybe this advertisement business case has a lot of potential as well. But as far as I recognize it, and as far as the management is communicating it, that really these are what you can see here: deliveries, mobility, and financial service are by far the major pillars where they want to set the focus on. And advertisement business, means integrating ads into their app. Yeah, is more a secondary part. And this word app is a very important aspect, guys. Because in the end, we're talking about a super app. Yeah, it's a super app like in China, Tencent, WeChat. The web app is called WeChat, or several other ones. I mean, super app I think has the fundamentals, the roots in the Asian markets. I guess companies over there and people love to establish this kind of super apps, and it basically means that you really go for synergies, you go for digging network effects, like you can see here. The fundament, the original business was the mobility business. It was called My Taxi in Malaysia, and then they renamed it to Grab. And then they started to do delivery business, offer them as well, because then synergies between mobility and deliveries. Yeah, maybe when you're a customer of deliveries, you figure out, or mobility, you figure out, they have delivery service right now as well. They launched it and might be a catch and adding value to my life as well as a customer. Yeah, so you have this kind of synergies, and then you have financial services, as I already mentioned. You need to pay the stuff. Maybe you have pay later functionalities, and you can see here as well invest functions, insurance, whatsoever, hotel comparison functions. And so, yeah, you have the super app, and the super app, this is the major target of these kind of companies and of Grab, basically, to really create an own smartphone inside of your smartphone. Yeah, so basically you switch on your phone and you open the Grab app, and the company tries to keep you as long as possible inside this app. Of course, everyone is trying this, but really they try to create in this app an environment that you, best case, you never need to leave this app. Yeah, it's of course sometimes you need to leave the app. If you need a calculator app, you leave the app and go to the calculator app in the smartphone. But that's really the target. Yeah, so really you cover a bunch of different functionalities based on desires of the customers and needs of the customers. And Grab has a super app as well. It's actually super rated, yeah, at least from the customer base point of view. There's as well an app for the riders, the drivers of Grab, and I think it's not that best rated, but that's a secondary important aspect, and actually at least there is a kind of app existing. Yeah, so that's it for now. And guys, if you're new to the channel, here and there I will check the comment section, the chat section. Leave comments if you like and use the chat functionality, and I'm always happy to say hi and try to greet you back. It's sometimes I will do this for sure at the end of the session if my notebook didn't run out of or will not run out of battery. I try to keep it as structured as possible, and I hope that you are now already a little bit closer to the company Grab itself. Yeah, it's still founder-led. I mean, two co-founders with background of Harvard Business School actually, and well-connected ones, especially the CEO of the company. They founded the company together, and the CEO is still active, and the other co-founder, which was a woman, is not active anymore. I think she left the board last quarter or the quarter before, so Q3, something like this. Okay, and next to this 3 or 4 pillars of Grab, they offer something what other companies as well are offering. Yeah, so think about Amazon and Amazon Prime, for instance. So really a service, a bundle, or a service which is bundling and batching together different kind of functionalities and incentives and additional bonus values and functionalities, basically. So when you have Prime, then you can watch live soccer, yeah, or you have access to the Mediathek, to the library of all different movies and series and podcasts and whatsoever, and you get the better shipment conditions commercially and this kind of stuff for a fixed amount of money per month as a user or per year. And Grab has a similar service, and that is called Grab Unlimited. Yeah, so again, it's established with this idea of a super app functionality, and then when you are a customer, a user of Grab Unlimited, and I think it costs, depending on the country, $1 to $5 per month. You have different benefits you participating at. Yeah, you can see here some promotions, some off prices, food or marts or grocery provision. Then here, when we talk about mobility stuff, Grab Ride, Grab, yeah, all kind of stuff. Let's say it like this. Yeah, pay low. Here, even GX Bank, you can see it here. That's quite new, actually. I see it the first time as well. I mean, I did. If you are, after the call, willing to receive more information about Grab, you feel free to visit the YouTube channel of me and watch the AAA plus Grab analysis. Very long piece of research, actually. Took a lot of time to create it, and afterwards I was already almost burning out, so I took a break of doing analysis, but I need to do the next one because the feedback was quite overwhelming and positive, so thank you very much to you guys. However, there's a lot of information involved, and the last earnings call, it was right after I finished the preparation work of this analysis, and I was really deep into this topic of Grab. And I'm not only invested in Grab, I'm not only a shareholder of Grab, so sometimes I'm missing here and there information, and I try to stay close. Yeah, however, sometimes you lose something. Yeah, however, you can see here, Grab services However, you get some discount here as well, and you can see it here. This really full license bank business, GX Bank, and then you have this pay later additional financial services, yeah. And here one more time, even there's a credit card existing, Yaya Grocer. So actually they are owner of, I think, 31? Is it 31 grocery stores in, if I'm not mistaken, oh shit, I'm not sure anymore. Is it Malaysia? I don't know, man. But for sure, they are owner of a grocery chain which is called Yaya Grocer, and of course that fits as well very perfectly into the overall setup. Even though, I mean, it will very likely not be a major driver of income, but it comes hand in hand with the grocery and the food delivery business, yeah. Yeah. So that is actually how it works, yeah. So we have these core businesses, and hi John Joe, Austria. I'm from Germany actually. I'm from Germany. I'm located in Leipzig. It's mid-eastern Germany. And very glad that my promotion on Reddit is fruitful. I'm never sure if I do it right and if someone is reading it, but in this case, it looks great. So if only at least one person joined because of my promotion on X and Reddit and Instagram, I'm very happy about it, and so very glad you joined actually. And yeah, and I forget, it's currently in Germany the time, or Central European time, is 9:50 p.m. and the earnings results, I mean, should get released after market close in the US. Das ist gut. Schön, moin. Auf jeden Fall geil, dass du drin bist. Ich freue mich. If you have any questions, please feel free, John, to ask, yeah? Or if you want to comment something, I'm always interested in other opinions. I mean, I'm sitting here alone in my spaceship car and yeah, just relying on my own thoughts and opinions, and it's always great to get some input from the audience. Oh, greetings to the US. Grab is not active there right now, but I guess in the future, very likely not actually. I don't hope, it's too risky. But I would love to be there as well, even though the summer is coming and weather is getting better right now. I think, is it right, Florida is the sun state? Is it right? I'm not sure. However, I should go on with Grab. Guys, so I think earliest in 15 minutes the results will get announced and released, but we will figure it out together. Until then, I'm always late a little bit. I'm always a little bit later, so you can already prepare yourself that even you will already know what is going on with the results. I would still stick to my briefing schedule and go through the different topics I prepared for you. Because of the analysis, there's a lot of stuff left actually in the tank. So we talked about this services, the major services. We talked about Grab Unlimited. And yeah, maybe quickly we take a look at Uber. And as you can see, I mean, Uber is actually a shareholder of Grab. I think they are shareholder of 14% of Grab. So they are not only invested in Grab, actually they invested in different kind of delivery service vendors. That's kind of what they like to do actually, and part of their strategy. But I think Grab is the largest position, or almost the largest. And actually in the past they have been competitor, I think, in the Singaporean market. So one of the strongest ones there. And SoftBank company, you might know, is it a fund? It's definitely an investment house. They had shares of Uber and Grab, so both competitors in this market. And maybe because of their interest, maybe not. But however, Uber and Grab sit together on the negotiation table and try to find a way that they can do business basically. And the result of it was that Uber left the market, forwarded their business to Grab, and therefore in exchange Uber received part of the Grab business. That is the part of it. And till then, or since then, Uber is invested not that heavy anymore. I think it was 27.5% or something like this back in the days. But now it's, again, one more time, 14%. But why I'm sharing you this story is, of course, Uber is a little bit the role model, the big brother of all this kind of delivery providers out there. DoorDash, Delivery Hero, how are the others called? Man, I was Just Eat, Takeaway. Yeah, there are a few one. Yeah, so Uber is really the legacy one and the big brother, and by far the largest one in terms of turnover, customers, activity in markets, all those kind of aspects, market cap of course as well. And I just want to show you that Uber as well was struggling quite longly. I mean, they had a lot of doubts have been present in the past that Uber, this business case, can't basically be profitable. That was always a big doubt and concerns in the market. As you can see, it was running. Yes, it has some ups and some downs, but at the end, it was not going straight up like other businesses in this period. Uber finally really switched on found their speed pedal, the gas pedal, and is it correctly, and they really pushed forward and bring their horsepowers on the street. And why basically? And it was not that long ago. I mean, 1 year. Why this was the case? You can see they went over. One moment, I need to adjust this. So here we go. I hope you can see it. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, they went actually profitable. It's simple how it is, and it's that simple how it is a lot of times out there. Yeah, when the investors smelling finally the profit and the turnaround, and especially in times where interest rates are quite high, that's of course something which is really appealing for analysts, for investors, and that happened. That happened to Uber, and you can see, I mean, revenue-wise, they always developed quite positively, but in terms of the earnings per share, it was definitely a struggle, not that easy. And you can see, however, they went positive, but okay, recently they dropped. But what I want to show you is, for a long period of time, investors and a lot of participants at the markets, they doubted that this business case, delivery, mobility services, is a fruitful one. And Uber proved it can be a fruitful one, even though last quarter it wasn't that fruitful. Yeah, but it is actually existing, and it is a very competitive one. However, that shows as well that Grab might have the blueprint like Uber to be successful, even considering that, or especially considering that they have better market position, or very likely in the market that's almost a monopolistic positioning. I mean, more oligopolistic, you will see it in a moment, but yeah. However, let's take a look and compare the price development, the chart of Grab. And as you can see, I mean, it was released or launched as a spec, I think. And Uber was here involved as well. And you can see that it ran up quite strongly in 2021, like a lot of companies, especially digital ones in this period. And then it dropped heavily. I mean, you can see here the peak was, let me catch it for you, a little bit difficult. But it's something like 16, 17 US dollars, I guess. And then it dropped heavily to something like 2.5 US dollars. And since then it's running more or less flat. Yeah, I mean, year to date, it raised a little bit, very slight. You can see 6%, not that much actually, but it's running very flat. So really the market is waiting for this impulses, for this turnaround as well, like Uber, I guess. It's just my opinion, guys. But I think that's the same scenario like at Uber. And we will see if they can reach really the profit level, if they can go on with creating more GMV, which is called gross merchant value. So actually all the services which run and products and which run through Uber, through Grab. And of course the revenue, they want to see that this enhanced and increases, improves, but of course as well the profit level, especially nowadays with the interest rate. So when we talk about just the rough fundamentals, I mean, you can see here the revenue development looks quite positive, quite promising. However, taking a closer look, I mean, the first jumps 800 million, and then one more time almost 800 million, and then now from this year on, from last year and from last business year, roughly 2.4 billion US dollars turnover to next year expected. It's very low. It's running quite flat. Yeah, just 400 million or almost 20%. Not that much, especially compared to the past periods and is compared to the valuation. Because in my perspective, Grab is definitely not a bargain. Yeah, that's for sure. However, I need to state, and I can already share right now when I can find it. I think here it is. I watched an interview of the CFO of Grab, as you can see here at CNBC. It's a short one, just 3 minutes. Grab to the moon. Max, hi Max. Yes, we will figure it out together. I mean, last quarter they released and launched their the numbers on a way different spot. Yeah, in terms of time, it was something like, I think, before opening of the Asian market or something like this, and now they orientated on the US market. Yeah, so we will figure out together if what will be the case. I guess something like 5:10 past 10 till worst case 10:30 p.m. ET, Eastern time. Eastern time, is it correctly? So the time in the US, basically. I mean, there are different time zones, of course, but I think you know what I'm talking about. So let's see what the case will be. However, as you can see right now, so, and in this interview, the CFO of Grab, he mentioned that the first half, I mean, business year 2024 is a not a Grab year. Maybe it's a Grab year, but oh man, this bad joke. Sorry for that. But it's a gap year. Yeah, it's a gap year. So they're working on some different things, but you can't expect strong performance in terms of profit development and in terms of revenue development. That's basically the content, the message of this gap year. And he mentioned as well, especially on the second half of this business year. So now they're rolling out this banking business, for instance, and I can imagine that they expecting strong momentum by this, for instance, and it's kicking in more in second business year than the first half of this business year, second half of this business year than first half of this business year. However, just that you hear that, so I don't think, you never know. Man, sometimes some surprises taking place when you are an investor and you're not expecting it, and then boom, out of nowhere. And hopefully it's a positive boom and not a boom, and the stock or the company and the price gets hit to the ground. However, so I'm actually not expecting today something too heavily. Yeah, that is not my expectation. Yeah, not in both directions. Not too much volatility. Let's say it like this. But let's see. I think expectations are definitely existing in the market. People are waiting for it. There is. That's the reason why on the thumbnail of this stream you can see, can it stand the heat? I think a certain level of heat and pressure is existing for this business. They need to perform because they are not that cheap. And even though not today is the big improvement, what you can see, sooner or later, and more sooner than later, this development needs to take place and get recognized by the investor audience. Yeah, you can see they're working on their profitability. That's a major target of them actually right now. So I see it as a profit revenue focused company, not just focused on profit like StoneCo 2 days ago from Brazil, a company, or a growth driven company like Nubank. Yesterday I guided the stream. and the earnings. Yeah, that's the blend in my opinion. Mixture out of profit and revenue. And guys, as you can see here, I mean, I'm most of the time invested in companies with an average enterprise value of 5 billion, I would say. And in this case, the enterprise value is roughly 10 billion. You can see that the market cap is way higher, but on the other hand, they're working with a huge mountain of cash and liquidity, which is roughly 5 billion. Crazy, actually. Of course, there's some debt existing as well. However, running out of money is very unlikely, and I think last quarter and earnings release, they announced a buyback program of, was it 500 million US dollars? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was something like this. I think it didn't have a big effect on the development of the price, and wasn't considered that heavily, and for me as well not. Look, I can't even remember that correctly anymore. Yeah, but this is how it is. Let's take a quick look in their history in terms of results. More and more stuff is going on. 10k shares. Oh, 10k shares. How much I have? I have I think I have something like 3,000 or 4,000 shares, I guess. I mean, I'm invested. It's my 5th largest position, ranked on 5th position as well. I like the business, but again, it's for me not evaluated that cheap, or valuated that cheap, or that low. And so I have a position of 11,500 US dollars roughly. So you can calculate by yourself how much shares these are. But Stanley, I'm already starting to cross my fingers for you and for all of us, let's say it like this, that really, like Max Musterman already mentioned it, ding dong, and it's really ring the bell up, and some good progress is going on. I mean, I personally have high hopes, and for me, Grab needs to perform. It's not like other investments I have. I mean, it does not need to perform right now. For me, it is by myself a gap year, and I have high hopes from Q3 on. That's important for me. Q3, Q4, this business year, that will be way more important than this earnings, than the next earnings. Q3 and Q4, I rely on their words, on the management, that it's working out and developing great, and especially financial services. However, yeah, but you can see they are not missing at all the basically in the past the forecast in terms of revenue, even though that the gap between the forecast and the revenue, what they achieved actually gets closer and smaller, this gap. And I need to stop Grab jokes. Always when I say something with gap, I have however, and EPS, you can see that's another story. Yeah, so sometimes they beat it, sometimes not, they're missing it, and so bottom line, top line is very different. So I have high hopes that, and I mean the forecast is not that high, it's just 12 million more compared to the history here, 90 million more, 60 million more. Yeah, so where they are from, let's say like this, to beat this 12 million, I guess it's realistic, but we will see. Guys, I need to really speed up right now. Closed at 360. That doesn't sound bad. Let's check this out. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I will speed up everything because I have so much more to say, and I'm very, very late, and I really don't want to run out of battery actually, and I'm with 50% right now. So guys, make it very quickly. What we can see right here is the presence in terms of delivery, in terms of food delivery, and they are active basically in 8 markets, 6 core markets. These are the core markets you can see here. The side hustles is, I think, Laos and Myanmar, if I remember correctly. That's not participating or creating so much revenue. However, these are the core markets, and especially in the financially strong ones and more developed further ones, Malaysia and Singapore, they are very present. You can see it, but in general, they always have at least 50% market share. And when you see here the GMV, again, this gross merchant value, you can see they had 8.8 billion in 2022, and 1 year ago just 7.6, but you can see that the gap even increased, and then taking share of the competitors. Not sure what is going on in 2023, but I guess it is good. Then we go on. Yeah, I already mentioned it. This is their presence. Nowadays they are active in actually more than 500 cities. This is an investor slide, I guess, from 2022. So but it's the most current one. However, that's the presence, and it doesn't change too much. Then quickly look on their financial setup. I already tried to explain it a little bit verbally, but sometimes it's a little bit better to illustrate it as well visually. And you can see here again, there's this GrabFin, this older financial business, yeah. So payment, you can see it here, wallet, pay later options, this kinds of stuff, insurance, lending. And then a little bit more this PayPal business or Block business or StoneCo business or whatsoever, yeah. And then we have the new business. This is a digital bank business. Again, GXS, full banking business. You see accounts, savings, lending, and other banking products like credit cards. That is really high hope, and for me as well, high hope. Honestly, I would not be invested at this price, at this valuation in Grab, if this digibank, this potential would not exist, period. That is, for me, a big driver. And you can see as well what the management stated in 2022, and till now, they sent back a lot of times and adjusted the targets. So I'm quite confident they will manage this, but we would see it's a new business, this digibank business. But you can see here a chart basically, or a chart which is illustrating the break-even points, the break-even targets. So a lot of stuff get launched. I mean, digibank was launched roughly 6 months ago in Malaysia and Singapore, the full license business. Oh yeah, here it is mentioned, I guess. Yeah, so they stick really to their guidance, and now they will roll out business. Of course, upfront investing a lot of money in sales, in marketing. That's nothing new, in general and administrative and all this kind of expenditures, buckets you can put the money in. But then they expect, that's a big number for me, 2026, then break even is targeted, yeah. So it's definitely a midterm bet as well. And in general, Grab for me is a story bet. It's not all about numbers for me. It's as well this unique positioning. I will add some words as well. Dang, and just dropped. Guess we will see in tomorrow's opening. Grab after hours future rise. What? Okay, I need to stop watching the chat right now. I mean, it's nothing personal, but I really missed the timeline. So what I want to show is some really interesting numbers out of the earnings results sheet of 2021. And as you can see here, that they had at least, and I think it's not changing that strongly, they had really a strong leadership, no matter if you talk about food, about ride-hailing, so mobility, or we talk about financials. It's crazy what kind of gap they have, and that is what I'm talking about when I talk about this kind of almost monopolistic positioning. But of course, it's a logical one. And then we have here as well something interesting, the incentive spend. So a lot of competitiveness going on, and one differentiator is granting bonuses, granting incentives. And they do this a lot of times, like, yeah, when you pay now for a pizza, you get another one free, or this time you don't pay any order, any delivery fees or whatsoever, this kind of special deals, yeah. And you can see here that they're stating that compared to the peers, it's way more efficient. Not sure, I mean, I need to rely to these numbers, but as well something very, very great and good to hear. And that is, of course, the larger you are, the more power you have, the more synergies and networks you have. Batching, yeah, so batching is a big topic. I will come later on to it. But yeah, all of this kind of effects are existing, and you can see here as well that the overall level of incentives incentive spend is way lower. Okay, guys, let's go on. I have some more stuff, and I will keep it, promise you guys, short. Keep it simple and quick and compact, because we really need to focus the results. So we have here that they talked about, or there was the idea to buy Foodpanda business, the second largest food delivery provider in Southeast Asia, from Delivery Hero, actually a German company from my home country. But this didn't took place. It's okay for me. You can see here as well some new news. It was February, so this deal was addressed or targeted for Q1 this year, but again, they stopped negotiations. I think very likely Foodpanda or Deliveroo asked for too much money for unprofitable business. At least that's my assumption. And you can see here as well news from April this year. There was really some antitrust issues going on, and if really there's too low competition going on afterwards, yeah. But in Indonesia, there's actually strong competition going on. There's a company which is called Gojek. It's actually a former college colleague of the founder of Grab, yeah. And there's really Indonesia. I mean, it's the more or less largest market with largest potential in the future, largest population, and Gojek is doing very, very similar services. I mean, look, when we take a look at the products, you can see here they have the mobility, they have the financials, they have the delivery, and some additional businesses. Yeah, so it's very similar. And actually, there was some rumors, some news that they might open together. So Goto is the parent company of Gojek. There was some rumors that they're negotiating and maybe some acquisition will go on, but this was denied as well, as you can see here. Or as you can see here, Goto denies merger talks with ride-hailing rival Grab. So earnings released yet? Let's check it out together. I don't like to do this actually because if there's don't want to be affected. I don't think so. Look, I mean, it's just 0.23 percentage down after markets. Wait, we will see it in a moment here. Oh, that's Uber. Wait. Let's shit. Wait, I close Uber. Not that this I will have the same mistake one more time. Okay, but it's not very different. So it didn't move yet so much. 0.278%. I don't think it's out there, but wait, we can check actually the result page. And no, okay, so far so good. Okay, guys, let's go on. Okay, and then some news to the GX business. So 8 months ago, you can see here they received a digital banking license as one of the first 5 applicants in Malaysia. So there was some tender or something like this going on, and some applicants could go for it, for this banking license for digital stuff to improve the situation in Southeast Asia and in Malaysia. And yeah, actually GX and Grab won the first license. Yeah, so I think that shows how serious this company is. That's not it's not a joke, let's say it like this. And you can see here, then 5 minutes ago, GX Bank, they announced, okay, we're ready to serve the Malaysian community and enhance the situation there, because a lot of people over there are unbanked or underbanked. Yeah, I think I read something like, what was it, 70%, up to 70%. So there's a lot of potential left in the market, a little bit like new bank in Latin America. I see this potential as well for Grab in Southeast Asia. So I like this business case. I'm an investor of Nu as well. Guided yesterday or backed yesterday the earnings stream, and yeah. So I have high hopes here. Really, financial business, this banking is really. I have high hopes. I can only state it like this. We can see here that just 2 weeks later, they crossed already the 100,000 customer mark. Yeah, and they stated as well in the last earnings documentation. You can see 100,000, and what is great, they announced that almost 80% of the users are already existing Grab users. Yeah, so the synergies as a super app are really existing. That is an aspect I like so much. To have this kind of fundament and it's working. Yeah, really like a boost. Yeah, and then you can see 2 months ago they announced that welcome 100,000 GX card users are existing, and they mentioned that in 11 days they equipped 100,000 users with debit cards after the launch. So yeah, that is definitely something remarkable, I guess. And I only in general can recommend you, if you have LinkedIn, to follow them there. They are quite active with GX and GXS Bank, so always nice to see some news over there. But looks, the business is promising, but we will see how it is actually running out in reality. Now the March 19th, so roughly 2 months ago, they announced that in Singapore users can now use crypto, 5 different currencies of crypto. I'm not a true expert of it, but you can see a Bitcoin, Ether, so Ethereum, and some other currencies you can utilize to pay it. I think nothing, maybe in Southeast Asia it's more crucial than in Europe actually, or than in the US in terms of really the use case. I mean, most of the people in Europe, I think they keeping it as something like speculation, investment, maybe something like something different than gold, the digital gold or whatsoever, to really secure the worth of and the value of the value of the money they have. And so yeah, but however, I mean, maybe it's a catch in Southeast Asia, and it is definitely beneficial and attractive that you can pay with crypto. Yeah, might be the case because of some political and inflation aspects, yeah, to keep it in crypto and pay things in crypto. So what we have here, okay, that is something what is quite new as well. 1 month ago, that the Business Times, they talked about, okay, yeah, Grab in the hailing market, so in the mobility market, they own 70% of the market share, but a lot of competition is going on. Actually, I could never read the full article, guys. I never registered to this. Maybe I should do this in the future. But you can see that some competitors starting the business, B Group raised 30 million earlier this year, whatsoever. Yeah, so they have a huge market share, 70%. I mean, that's what they're stating by themselves, I think. On the other hand, I mean, you will never remove all competition from the market. It stays competitive, and they will always need to grant incentives, bonuses, deals, whatsoever. That is how it is. And then something very, very new. That's I already mentioned. SoftBank was an early investor of Grab and always have been. But 5 days ago, it was publicated that SoftBank sell off some different kind of investments to invest this money in AI and chips. So they shifted their strategy, and I think they sold already their shares, their part in Uber 2 years ago or something like this. But now they sold actually Grab. You can see they sold Coupang. I think it's South Korea, like e-commerce South Korea. DoorDash, very present in the US as well, food delivery, and you can see last but not least, Grab Holdings. I don't think it's that negative at the end. Maybe SoftBank is just very strict and consequent with their strategy, and yeah, it is how it is. And guys, so that's it for all the news. I hope your mind is not already burning, but I tried to keep it as interesting as possible, and if something new is going on, of course I cover it. I would say we quickly check, so you're not getting nervous, if the results are already out. No, looks untouched, and price-wise as well, not moved at all. Guys, I think really I need to, I don't want to panic out, but it's a little bit bad for you, but I need to put the screen a little bit darker. I hope it's fine for you, but I need to save energy, man. It's really and maybe I go to the safe mode. Okay, I hope you can still see something, and I hope it's not killing the performance. Please write in the chat if it's not acceptable like this. But this at least strengthens the chance that I will guide with you live the results and not run out of energy earlier, which would be very unfortunate. Oh, it's rising a little bit. Maybe the results are out. Not yet, but just very slightly. Okay. Now I share with you All good. Okay, thank you very much, Seamus. Thank you very much for the update. It will not happen again. I mean, it's never say save the planet. Yeah, I would just be happy if I can save the day for you and for me, guys, and not stopping the stream in a few more minutes. However, let's go on, guys, with a PowerPoint sheet I have prepared, and I just want to quickly talk a little bit about the macroeconomical parameters. As you can see, I mean, you can see here the population density, and GDP listed in a quite well-structured table of different continents, and that you have a feeling for it. Population 700 million Southeast Asia, world population roughly 8 billion, and way more important for me is not the GDP, is not the population itself. Of course, not unimportant as well, but not priority. Priority for me is the density over here. Yeah, I mean, we talk about food delivery, we talk about ride-hailing, about mobility services, and to catch the synergies like batching. So, for instance, when you're working in a country with low density, somewhere in Scandinavia, out of nowhere, only a few people living out there, some residentials, and someone is ordering food, it's very unlikely that someone next to it in the neighborhood is ordering the food in the same time, and especially at the same restaurant or something like this. And when the population density is very high, that the chances are as well stronger and higher that the synergies exist and you can batch the deliveries together, you know? And the same with mobility. This kind of stuff is existing, yeah? So it's not like when you are a rider, you've done your job in the north district of a city, and then you need to drive to the south district to catch the next and pick up the next customer. Population density makes the dream works, let's say it like this, and creates a lot of synergies, at least from my perspective. And so that's very interesting that the density is even higher in Southeast Asia than in China, for instance, which is crazy in my perspective, and of course in general in Asia, which is logical. And what I want to show you here in this table, when we talk about the population in the different 8 countries, Grab is active. What you can see here in first glance, that by far Indonesia and Philippines, I mean with Indonesia and Philippines, more than 50% of the population are located over there. And the financially strong markets, Singapore and Myanmar, are comparatively, and Malaysia, not Myanmar, Singapore and Malaysia are comparatively small. Yeah, so that is something you need to keep in mind. I mean, Indonesia is growing way larger, as you can see. The development, Philippines is growing quite strong, and Singapore not that strongly when we talk about growth, and the same Malaysia, and yeah, so a lot of potential in this per person GDP per person is not that high. However, on the long term, it definitely makes sense, I think, to set the seeds right now and participate in the future. And here we can see the population density in details per country. Singapore is very strong because it's how we call this, country state, city state. So it's just a city. Yeah, it's very small, very compact, and obviously the density is very high. But when we leave it out, you can see that especially Philippines has this, and Vietnam has a huge load of density. Yeah, I think business so far, especially in Philippines, is not that strong for Grab. So as well, when we talk about the legacy core business, mobility and delivery, a lot of room for improvement, and the future holds some potential left. So it's not all about, for me, digital banking, but digital banking is for me a big appealing factor. And when we take a look at the GDP development here, first of all, compare this to the Western world. On average 27%, the GDP level is developing very strongly, or will develop very strongly in the future. Oh, no, that was the past. Here, 44% actually. So it's even getting stronger and stronger, even though here it's 5 years and here it's only, it's as well 5 years. Yeah, so that's strong. However, as you can see, Philippines very strong, Indonesia very strong, what I already mentioned, and Malaysia and Singapore compared to those both countries not that strong. Yeah, but in general, there's a lot of future existing in those markets. They are really emerging, and that's the reason why they're called emerging markets. Okay, guys, then we go on. For earnings, easier for my other pick, Tesla. Yeah. I hope. Stream snap you soon, bro. Look behind you in the dark in 5 minutes. Stream snap you soon, bro. Oh, what does it mean? Look behind you in the dark. Oh. Okay, man. It's fine, man. I understand what you're telling LCL. I mean, it would be a strong lie if I would say that I'm sitting in a bulletproof car. Not yet. I'm not that famous, not that popular yet. But I guess it's not even worth the bullet to invest in me to do this. Actually, really, or maybe because I'm giving out wrong recommendations and giving wrong information and killing your performance, investment performance, then it's definitely worth a bullet to get me out here of the car. But I hope you will not do it. I hope we will see each other next stream one more time. Okay, guys, let's go on. And back to the presentation slide deck. I will not go through it. I already mentioned it. Revenue and profit focus is existing, as you can see on the top right. I mean, I'm always investing in growth. I'm a growth investor, I would say by myself, or title myself. No matter if it's revenue growth, profit growth, or a blend out of revenue and profit. And in this case, I think we talk about revenue, profit, a blend. And wait, let me check one more time what is going on with the results. Oh, come on, Grab. Don't leave me like this here. That's not good, man. Maybe I will join through my phone, but I think that's actually not the best idea. But earnings, or at least the reports, are not out right now. When you can update as well if you like, and if it should be the case that they are out, please let me know. Okay, let's go quickly through the cons, and I keep it very superficial. Yeah, so the GMV growth, again, that's the gross merchant value. You will see it later a few times, and it's including all the transactions through the services by the customers, basically. It's not growing that strongly anymore. That's definitely some negative. Antitrust regulation, FREED is existing. I was already talked about it already already about it in regard of the potential Foodpanda acquisition. Then it's not that unprofitable at the moment, and turnaround is of course always questionable if they keep this level, of course, as well in this business, because again it's very competitive and competition will never stop in this business. I'm very convinced about this, and there you can see already the next point, high competitive industry. Then we will see, I mean, they not always perform that well in terms of guidance and covering the forecasts in terms of revenue more often than EPS, but still room for improvement. Their business is very cyclical. As soon as something is going on, worst case like Corona, food delivery, of course, is very attractive. Mobility, who knows? But if economy goes down, I think people think twice if they will order the food now or not cooking by themselves and save some money. Yeah, for instance, there is a China-Taiwan risk, yeah, which of course we are all aware of, and I don't think I need to add too much information to this. In general, the company Grab is very complex in my perspective. It's very difficult to assess, and I need to trust a little bit just the management and the information you get provided that everything is cool. And last but not least, it's definitely not a bargain. Yeah, I mean, when we talk about bargain, I can quickly share the stocks I'm currently a shareholder of. Okay, thank you very much, Stanley. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm already on the darkest level. Yeah, I'm not sure if, I mean, is it adjusting when I do it like this? Does it make a difference for you, or does it not have any effect? Actually, is it just my screen where the brightness gets adjusted? However, I'm already on the lowest level, and it is how it is. Eh? Let's go on, guys. But you can see here the stocks I'm currently a shareholder of, and beside Alphen, everything, all the earnings results have been already announced this earnings season. Just Alphen is next Monday, I think. Alphen is a Dutch EV charger, battery storage system and substation provider out of the Netherlands. and the results will get released. I will do a stream next Monday at what time is it in your country? So it's Central European time is 5:50 p.m. and in Eastern time it will be like something like let's say 3:50. 12:30. Yeah. Well, I hope the future is bright of us. Okay, guys, and you can see here that's the that's my valuation and my KPIs. Yeah, what I've created 15 days ago, and when you see the comparison, I mean, Grab is, from my perspective, the most expensive stock I'm a shareholder of. Yeah, so again, not the bargain, but you can't catch everything in numbers in my perspective. And this market metrics, this market conditions with high density, with a lot of potential growth, yeah, a lot of unbanked people, and all this positive stuff would come enhanced with this aspects is something what you can't find in the numbers right now. And furthermore, so I need to adjust a little bit the air condition. Furthermore, as well, the positioning in the market, this oligopolistical positioning and way ahead of competitors in terms of mobility services and in terms of food delivery services. This is something very special and unique, and I want to definitely participate on this story and, of course, as well on this digital bank story. And so the sales growth is not that impressive anymore. That's a blend out of 2024, 2025. The EV sales is not very low, but not very high as well. I mean, compared to other companies, okay, it's not that negative, but I think in terms of pricing and valuation, you find always better deals. The fair price multiplicator is not showing you, okay, it's not stating you that 30% it's underpriced or something like this. That's not the case, or undervalued, but it shows you in comparison that it's quite expensive compared to Stone Co, compared to Hims and Hers, compared to Elfen. Yeah, and so last earnings call I rated it negative actually, and I ranked it from my 5 stocks I'm a shareholder of my $85,000 portfolio. I've ranked it as on position 5. Yeah, so least promising, but I mean, based on the fact that I'm a shareholder of it, there is definitely a certain level of conviction existing. Otherwise, I would not be a shareholder. And let's take a look at the latest results. But before, I check one more time if results are out there. And I think they are actually, because oh, no. But what is it that because I think the price is aftermarket dropping a little bit. Check this one more time. Maybe it was a missed call. Looks solid still. Okay, let's go on, guys. Let's take a look at the former earnings results, Q4 2023. And as you can see here, revenue-wise, it was solid. I mean, they beat it on a low level, but they did beat profit. They beat it very strongly. They expected a negative EPS, and they achieved a positive EPS. Outlook was definitely a bad negative aspect, because this was basically the statement of it's a gap year. Yeah, we will not achieve so much in 2024. Revenue guidance was really, really low. I think 200 million. So it was 2.7 billion, I think, for the business year. But I think the analysts expected something like 2.9 billion, so $200 million less than expected, which is definitely a difference. And profit-wise, it's okay. It was okay. And yeah, these 3 positions, everything's solid. We will go through them today as well. More or less solid. Could be worse. But let's take a look quickly on the highlights. And what developed very bad was the GMV per monthly transactional user, I think. So basically, what kind of transaction went through per user per month, and you can see, or per quarter, and you can see that it was lower then that's not correct. It should be something like this, I guess. Yeah, it was definitely lower than 1 year ago. Can have different reasons. I mean, now they give better options for the customers. For instance, in the food delivery business, when you order now food at Grab, you can decide, do you want to have a standard delivery, no extra fees, or you want to go for quick and speed delivery, then you need to pay extra, or you go for a slow delivery, and that is the choice of a lot of customers, and then you say something like an US dollar fee or something like this. And so this of course has an effect as well on the GMV per MTU. Might be a reason, but however, definitely not a positive development. And now it's rising a little bit. Oh, come on, crap! What is going on with you guys? Please announce your. What do you think of? Okay, wait. Seems all depends on growth. What do you think of upside on potential financial service side? Yeah, I mean, in general, on the midterm and long term, I have no doubt. I mean, that there's a lot of potential. I already mentioned it. A lot of population existing, a lot of underbanked and unbanked population, a lot of economical positive outlook for the region, and on the other hand, the competitiveness level, the level of competitiveness, is quite low. Yeah, it's quite low. I mean, there's a reason why Malaysia is providing 5 digital banking licenses. There is the demand. There's a need for it. And I mean, of course, yesterday C Limited, which you very likely know, this company, they announced their results yesterday. I think they haven't been that bad actually. At least the price rised afterwards. But they have C money. One of their key pillars is C money. And this is of course something which would be a direct competitor of Grab and GXS and other services for sure. And I think for when we talk about short term, I mean midterm, I expect 2026 break-even point is reached, yeah. But on the short term, just in this business year, I expect nothing too positive this year, this quarter, not next quarter, and one more time Q3, but more Q4 actually, maybe already Q3. I really want to see that it's hitting in and it's really creating positive momentum and relevant performance to the overall company-wide results. Banking in Philippines is awful, for example. Yeah, nice to hear. I mean, on one hand, on the other hand, of course, not for the locals. But yeah, I've read it a few times, and I've read as well that, or I talked to colleagues actually, they did vacation there, or even when I went out to a restaurant, to what was it? I think a Thai restaurant. They told me, yeah, of course they know Grab, and Grab is working very, very well. You know, that's great to hear that they are good in execution, their solutions. Report out. Let's check out what is going on. Not yet. I mean, guys, it would be great if you could check it by yourself as well, but it's not, I can't see it on their website. And on the other hand, aftermarket price remains untouched, just 0.56% up. So I think nothing is released right now. For this scenarios, for these situations, I have always 2 bottles with me. Regularly, you always see only the green, black one, but I think today I need even the other one, and it's so unfortunate today I messed up the charging business. It's ridiculous. However, let's go back to the Grab results, and as you can see here, so what was negative, again one more time, the GMV per MTU, and then on the other hand, that incentives, especially the mobility incentives, didn't develop like I expected it, because the mobility incentives, they increased. Yeah? I think all the other ones for the other businesses, of the other services, they decreased, but mobility incentives increased, and this is something what I don't like to see at all. There will be a reason, maybe a good one, yeah, maybe more competition whatsoever, but it is how it is, yeah. Then the revenue outlook was weak, yeah, I already mentioned it, 100 million, less than expected. I think I've mentioned 200 million. What was neutral or even a little bit more positive, the management stated at the last call, I think, that from now on, from this quarter on, they will report fintech and the financial services as a core business. Not sure what will be the effect on the reporting structure, if the reports look different or something like this. I don't expect it, but we will figure it out together, hopefully. And then 3 more positive aspects. The first one is that the delivery GMV recovered. I mean, it was not going so well in the past quarters since Corona somehow, since pandemic was gone basically, and people could go by themselves to restaurants and socialize more. But now it recovered. You can see here, year on year, the quarter ago it was 7%, and the quarter later, last quarter, year on year 13%. So that was a great development. It was very promising for me. And another promising aspect, as you can see here, and I already talked about it, 100,000 clients within 2 weeks in Malaysia, and the synergies, the super app seems to work. Okay, one more time I check the results. Maybe today the results will not get released, yeah, maybe we have the wrong information, yeah, might be the case, but guys, I'm confident it will get released soon, yeah. So let's go on, and I think will be $4. $4 after markets today, so 40 cents up, so roughly like 15%. It would be great, Kollega Exit. I hope you're right, man. Maybe you're an oracle. I would be happy if that would be the case. But let's see. Guys, I go back to the former slide and we talk a little bit about the pros. And I think that it's not that easy to read for you, but even for me actually, it's a little bit difficult to read. I'm very lucky when I go later to bed, I will have strong and suffer under strong headaches and eye pain or something like this. Tomorrow I can't work anymore. However, so there where cons are pros, so where's darkness, there's light, of course, as well. Very poetic. And you can see here, again, one more time, this oligopolistic status and positioning in the market combined with the super app function is, of course, really, really premium and very unique and very strong. Then we have very serious mid and long-term guidance and perspectives, especially based on the financial stuff, but as well Grab Unlimited, the advertisement business, I mean, and even other stuff. They have the fundament to roll out a lot of services. I think for Grab, regional expansion is not a big aspect which gets discussed. They are focusing Southeast Asia. Luckily, they are not doing so many experiments outside of Asia, like some other companies like Southeast, like Sea Limited. They're not doing business in Europe. Grab, they're not doing business in Brazil or something like this. That's what I like. But in general, rolling out more products and services and really digging more potential in terms of cross-selling and upselling, I think there's really some room for improvement left and a great future. Then the regional unique-based parameters. Then what we already discussed. Then the potential near profitability, what they're really focusing. They mentioned this a lot of times and that they're really on a good path to it. So that's great to hear. The strong liquidity, again, one more time, more than 5 billion in liquidity. Then, yes, super app and this kind of synergies they want to dig and achieve and different services. It is diversified somehow, and on the other hand, there is a certain focus existing. So this is what I really like, actually. Yeah, so I'm not doing all this kind of business, and on the same time, I'm quite confident they're doing a lot of enough research and putting their fingers in different waters to dig potential. And yeah, the last aspect, which is a light green one, not that crucial, but Uber proved it's a blueprint, it's a business which might be really successful in the future. Okay, guys, one more time, we will check. Okay, let's see what is going on. Okay, results not out right now. And let's check out what is going on with the price after hours. I mean, wait, I can share quickly the screen so you can see it by yourself that I'm not. So here you can see aftermarket 0.84% up. And here is the investors relations page. And so far 2024 Q1 results, only webcast videos, so this is nothing new. This was existing since weeks. I think that's the very likely the link to the later call. Yeah. However, guys, let's go on. Luckily, I have enough stuff which I prepared. So let's go on. The lesson, it's really like school. Yeah, we need to stick to it. Let's talk about the targets for today. Actually, an important aspect. So I separate this always in short, mid and long-term aspects, and of course revenue and profit development should be fine, and best case beating the forecasts. Yeah, that's for me almost most important. When we go into the details, for me important is the GMV and the TPV incline, so improvement. TPV is the value. I mean, it's basically the same like GMV, but just in terms of financial, the financial business, so total payment volume value very likely. Then, which is very important, incentives development and stock-based compensation drop. I mean, they, like a lot of companies nowadays, they're paying their stuff with stocks, yeah. And I want to see it's getting lower and strongly lower. And I think they will decrease it very strongly because they have the target to achieve profitability soon, yeah. So without this kind of leverages you're working on, reaching profitability is definitely not that easy, I guess. Then, of course, the MTU and the GMV per MTU growth, that's important. And some further topics on the midterm, the Grab Unlimited starts, the competition in Indonesia in terms of Gojek and Goto. Very likely not that interesting for today, those midterm aspects, same as the more long-term aspects, but something what we need to keep in mind. And, of course, as well, the break-even point target of 2026 in terms of financial services and ad services. And last but not least, long-term, what we need to consider is antitrust issues. I mean, again, they're grabbing more and more shares, market shares from the competitors, and on a certain level, it could get ridiculous. And the different authorities and councils may create certain or a higher level of attention and focus it, and this concerns getting stronger, let's say it like this. Then the general reputation of the company, I think it not always has the best reputation, especially in terms of the riders. Sometimes as well the customers of the mobility service, they waiting for their refunding money. I read some stuff about this, so I think there's definitely some room for improvement, and I think it's very, very important that all the ones who are the stakeholders are happy. The customers, of course, but to make the customers happy of Grab, the riders, the drivers need to be reliable and happy, in my opinion, need to drive safe, be equipped with good equipment, with good devices, good conditions, good salary, of course, yeah. And on the other hand as well, the merchants or the different stores, restaurants, whatsoever, they of course as well need to get treated well, yeah. And this triangle of customers, riders, and merchants should be in balance, in my opinion. And that's what I stated here. And of course they can, as I mentioned already, roll out further services, and let's see if they will do it, and if they will do it successfully, especially maybe in 10 or 20 or 30 years. I really have high hope. I mean, I can really imagine that Grab will never be cheap if they perform and execute well. On the other hand, I can really imagine to be investor in Grab for years and years and years. I can really imagine it because, again, the economical numbers, the future of this region is quite bright, I think. And yeah, that is something what I love about this story. So one more time, I check what is going on. Yeah, when we talk about the earnings, look, I can share the screen, and I can show you they have a press release, and they stated in the press release, you can see it, 15th of May, so I think it's the right day at least, and they mentioned it You can see it here, 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh, wait, that's the call, right? Yeah, that's the call. I always was getting goosebumps. But so again, one more time, the conference call will take place at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But the actual results will get released after market closes. And I think somewhere between after market closes, so 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. But I mean, I expect it will be something like more like 4:30, 5 p.m., something like this. Would make sense in my perspective. So I guess it will happen. It can happen at any moment. At least that was my expectation. But honestly, guys, I was already wrong in the future with Nubank one time, and wouldn't surprise me if I mess it up one more time. That it is how it is, and maybe I will do another stream tomorrow and add something live, or even though I can imagine that that's a little bit an awkward move, but I can manage it very likely. That I go home. I'm not that far away of my apartment, and I charge. I put the plug here, the power plug in the socket of the laptop, and go live from my apartment. Maybe I will do this as well if it's not working out. But however, guys, I mean it's now almost 11 p.m. in the evening in Germany, and I definitely will not be longer streaming, no matter from here or from my apartment, later than 12. So that's for sure. I think you can understand this aspect. I mean, I have a job and this kind of stuff. Okay, however, let's go on. I'm not done yet. I'm still not done yet. Can you imagine this? I prepared an Excel sheet, as I do it always, for the calls. And this will give me really no headaches because of the small numbers and this low brightness level of my screen over here. But you can see here, comparing forecasts and different earnings results. I mean, today the forecast in terms of EPS is minus 1 cent per share. And I would love to see 2 cents. Why 2 cents? There's not a lot of evidence and scientific idea behind it. Yeah, that's not the case. It's just the case that last quarter they achieved 1 cent per share positive, which was a positive surprise, actually a beat. But I want to see it develop further. Yeah, so I want to see that at least 1 cent more. If it's still 1 cent, it's fine. I want to see that it's at least positive. That would satisfy myself. Everything negative would be not convincing me as a shareholder, but okay, it is how it is. It's a gap year, yeah. But 2 cents is what I like to see. Forecast is minus 1 cent, but it was already last quarter minus 1 cent, and they beat it with 1 cent positive. So I expect they will beat it one more time. And then, when we talk about the revenue perspective, it's guided roughly $646 million for a past quarter, and I would love to see $676 million. That would satisfy me very strongly. What is how this resulted, or how I calculated this? So basically, I want to make sure that, of course, the relative growth numbers is difficult to catch them each year. Yeah, to cover this. I mean, when you have high growth, you can't keep always 50% growth year on year. That's impossible, of course. Yeah. But what I want to see on an absolute number, on an absolute scale, that the absolute numbers they can keep it. Yeah. So last year, Q on Q, they grew by $23 million, and I want to see as well that they grow by $23 million. That's just how I calculated it, and that would make me satisfied me and create any doubts in this investment. Yes, so that's the case. Bad time in Spain, amigo. Appreciate your knowledge. Oh, wait, the Excel sheet is not sharing currently? Yeah, Seamus, thank you very much for the kind words. I highly appreciate your words, and hope to see you next time. Sleep well, yeah? Sleep well. Did I all the time did not share my Excel sheet? What is going on here? Maybe I need to reopen it. One moment. So here we go. And then you will see it. You should see it at least. Is it working for you guys? Okay, now it looks good. Cheers, and thank you very much for joining. Really, highly appreciate it. And greetings to Spain, of course. I was there. It was in Bilbao 4 weeks ago actually, for an exhibition. But that is okay. Perfect. It was showing. Great. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Exit, for the update. And I prepared as well another table, and this table is basically covering or connecting the short-term parameters which I stated here at the PowerPoint sheet, yeah, and on which base we can evaluate, or I get a better picture about the performances. So you can see here I want to check out the GMV development of the different businesses, 3 core businesses and ads, and the overall one, the brand-wide one. Then of course the development of MTU and GMV per MTU, and then the incentives and stock-based compensation. So all the parameters I will copy and paste it and put it in this table, and then hopefully we get a more clear picture about the actual results and about the details, and maybe we will get some information about, or we get we are a little bit quicker and faster and a little bit better informed than some other investors out there. Very likely not than any analysts. I guess they are prepared better, but at least we have something, yeah. And of course, at least I can provide you hopefully a value, yeah. Even though, again, one more time, it's your investments and you need to take care of how you utilize your budgets, your money. And you will see that I will compare it just to 1 year ago, the quarter, year on year. But here in the brackets, I've stated the year-on-year development of the past quarter. Yeah, so Q4 2023 to Q4 2022. And so we have an idea how it is developing, and it's basically removing out any seasonality. Yeah, because a lot of businesses, whatever, winter season is vacation season, and so therefore Q4 a lot of times has more power, yeah, more financial power, more potential in it than Q1. Let's say it like this, yeah. And so this is the reason why I compare it year on year. Okay, guys, let's check out the results. Not out yet, but at least. I think 2 minutes to go. Yeah, you might be right. Because you can. I mean, because it's just hope what I'm spreading right now. Actually, I'm feeling like I'm in a desert, and if I drink too much, I need to go to the toilet, and then really the other guy will snipe me, and I will be down. That's not nice. So I need to stay in my maybe bulletproof car and be protected. However, you can see that aftermarket, the price is already starting to grow, even though it's starting to grow on a very low level. Let's say it like this. But now actually I went through not everything what I can show in terms of, or what I showed in the analysis. So there is way more information about the stuff, and it's a little bit better structured and without any wrong vocabulary, or at least I hope it's the case. So I mean, I'm cutting it at home afterwards to make sure that everything is communicated on a nice level, on a high quality level. In streams it's sometimes a little bit different in terms of the quality of my English languages and the level of communication. But however, and of course, I mean, sometimes it depends on the days, but on the working days, and if I have to cover a lot of stuff at job, and it's demanding, then sometimes in the evening I'm a little bit tired. However, I mean, streaming, I love to stream, I love to do this, and I already thought honestly to do everything live in the future to save time, and because cutting and afterwards adjusting the videos takes a lot of time, and I really don't like this about this business. And so I would love and prepare in the future to take a higher focus on just doing streams. But what we can do is we can go through the, maybe we can update it. Unfortunately now at the full hour, what we have crossed a minute ago or 2 minutes ago, it was not released yet, but it's actually, look, there's some, I mean, it doesn't need to mean anything, huh? Doesn't need to mean anything at all. But here as well at investing.com, no results are stated yet, so we need to stay patient. But we can go on and for a moment someone is walking out there, and I mean I'm somewhere out of nowhere. Okay, I mean, guys, call 911 if it's something going bad right here. Yeah, call 911, man. But it's very likely the same situation like with the spiders and the humans. I mean, a lot of humans are afraid of spiders, but the reality is very likely that spiders are way more afraid of humans. And so, I mean, of course, I'm not afraid of anyone, but I can tell that very likely if this guy is crossing here and I'm on the countryside somewhere out of nowhere again, and he will see me in a car, he will very likely think, what the fuck is going on with this guy, and why is the car so bright from the inside? And so very likely for him it's more confusing than for me. However, let's go into the latest result. We are already here, and I will go through the recent presentation. Can you see it? Let me check this. Everything fine, man. Everything fine. Okay, so that's the earnings core results of Q4 2023, as you can see it, and a little bit disclaimer and this and that and some additional notes. But you can see, first of all, they start their results with some financial highlights, and actually last quarter wasn't that bad with 30% year on year. But of course, when you then drop a negative or less good outlook of roughly 20% year on year growth, it's not convincing that strongly. Then they stated what is definitely a highlight. First time company-wide adjusted EBITDA, which is positive, a group adjusted EBITDA, which is positive. Before, some different sectors have been positive in the past, but this was really first time, if I remember correctly. And the structure is always the same, and I guess it will today be the same, yeah. And then you can see here a chart about really what is the growth of the on-demand level. Then what I've already mentioned here is the new option, or I guess it's a new option in terms of the food delivery stuff, that you have the option of priority services, quicker service, quicker delivery, standard delivery, which is cheaper, and saver option, which is the slowest delivery option, but which obviously saves you money, yeah. And maybe that could result in lower GMV per MTU. Yeah, would not surprise me. But you can see here what is great, that the all versions beside the standard, of course, because standard was always existing and started with 100%. All the different versions, saver and priority, getting utilized more and more, and that's great. And that's of course as well a differentiator to the competitors. Yeah, so very likely not everyone can provide this kind of services. And if you have Grab, and you are maybe even a Grab Unlimited customer, and you have already better conditions, and then you can even speed up the delivery periods, the delivery times, I think that's simply amazing. I go back to this one. So my laptop is telling me it's really like I'm like I'm in a how you call it, in a submarine. I'm going out of air, of oxygen. Oxygen, I guess. So I'm slowly dying out here, or at least my laptop. So I have 15% left, or it's telling me something like 30 minutes. Let's see if that will really be the case or not. So if I go off, it happened. Okay, let's go on. And you can see here as well that they're getting more and more efficient, and that's of course very interesting in terms of reaching this level of profitability. I can imagine that really they want to make sure by doing this gap year that they're achieving this plateau, this level of profitability, and stay on it, and then go further. And of course the banking ramp up, the banking rollout is another aspect in this regard, I guess. But you can see here, so they achieved a higher number of active drivers, which is great because it shows that the customers or the drivers seem satisfied and loyal and cool, and so therefore very likely the working conditions are fine. Yeah, so it would be more interesting to see a number like how many drivers are leaving per quarter or something like this, but I think it's a good sign as well that more and more drivers are starting to get active for Grab and for delivery business. What else have we here? Potential, earnings potential as well is improving. So basically what they want to show here, that not only revenue is going in the right direction and GMV and profitability, but it's not growing in the right direction because of they're just saving on the costs of the drivers or of the stakeholders, but everyone who's involved is participating. I think that is basically the message of this slide, and I like this message because I think it's a very, very important one, especially on the long term. And then you can see here lending business, of course, very important as well, especially when we talk about here, you can see digital banking and GrabFin lending. So these both different options. One is this in-house and this other one is the external solution. Is growing very, very strongly year on year. And of course, I hope they can keep the momentum and roll out is even stronger and more than ever convinced, because I mean in the end you saw it in Malaysia, 100,000 customers, credit business. So more and more options existing over here. Yeah, here one more time. So I guess this will definitely be the case. But the question, of course, is will it satisfy the investors, and will it cover the expectations of the investors? What we have here is capital allocation. Yeah, you can see it here. Yeah, I mean, it's great that they are shareholder orientated. Not every company out there right now is shareholder orientated and try to create value for the shareholders. Some of them really missing the part. You can see here they announced this share repurchase program. Again, I think something of $500 million US. But they really make sure to work efficiently with the money. I mean, there was definitely a reason why they're not, and they tell it here, they want to be very selective in terms of inorganic growth opportunities. They didn't purchase Foodpanda. They have the money. Very likely something like $1 billion would be enough. 1.2 billion, I think, was in discussion for acquisition of Foodpanda, but they're taking care of it and making sure that they're using it in a very profitable way. And I think that is what they are doing in general with their money. So guys, one more time, nothing new over here. Damn, sorry man. I mean, okay, wait, the shit's going on. Stanley, you mentioned something. I believe in their super app, they call it super app. If they are successful with their current business and especially financial service, then they could add to super app any other business they want. Healthcare, travel, they have 5 billion cash, 1/3 of the market cap. Yeah, you are absolutely right. I mean, I'm sharing this opinion to 100%. And again, one more time, especially on the long term. Yeah, it's 10 years plus, something like this. There is really so much room for improvement left. It's crazy, I think. And they're already. Wait, I need to take care of my nose. quick break. Sorry for that. But it's live, guys. It's live. It's how it is. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sharing completely this opinion. They already started to roll out. Wait, I'm not sure where they stated it. Let's go to the website one more time. Is it? I think we need to go on Grab. Just the general website. And here we can see. You can see in more detail the different services, and you have food, grocery, express, so package, this kind of stuff. We have the rides, we have the payment. They have insurance. Not sure how much part of the financial services of the results is insurance. I think they're not talking that much about it, but it's existing. And then they have even others. They have here hotel and booking of accommodations, gift cards. An awkward one, I think it's a result out of Corona pandemic, and that you can send someone just a gift card. I mean, better than sending nothing to someone you love or you appreciate. Rewards business. So all of this is existing, and that's just the perspective of the consumer. Then we have the driver. I mean, okay, that's just the app, the merchants. That's as well, I mean, they can utilize the payment options as well, and the delivery options, of course, makes sense. And then we have enterprise, so really the further business perspective, as well the package services existing, the food, the business rights, of course. So really have a driver, the seat for visitors, a guest of a company, financial services, ads, and even fraud management to protect your business from fraud is existing. Yeah. So I mean. For instance, Goto, the company, or Gojek, what I showed you earlier, they have services like massage and this kind of stuff, yeah? So they have even a wider and a broader... Yeah, come out, I'm reading the results because right now still the results are not published, as you can see here, They are not available. I'm not sure when they get announced, and very likely there are no results announced or published, because you can see not a huge impact on the aftermarket price, no EPS, no revenue stated on investing.com. So still holding the line, let's say it like this, and waiting for the results. Yeah, and he's right, Stanley. I need to survive. If we stay longer here in the line and that stream, I will start to talk about the conversations I had with my girlfriend at WhatsApp or something like this, in worst case scenario. Yeah, and very likely all of us, we should avoid this kind of situation. Yeah, so very sorry for this, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, man. It's. I mean, let me quickly check. One moment. Now I know that 2 people are actively viewing the stream. I mean, if you are, 6 active viewers. I expected already it will not be so many, because it's. I guess it's almost pain in the ass when not something happens. But actually we received 2 new subscribers, so I'm very happy about this and appreciate this very strongly, guys. I'm not sure if I deserve it, but on the other hand, I mean, it was not on purpose that we are in this situation right now. But again, still the results. Yeah, hi Edley. Originally it was announced, one more time I showed the press release. It was announced that it will get released after US market closes. Yeah, as you can see here. But you never know, of course, when this will be the point in time. And latest it will be 8 p.m. Eastern European time. So it should. 8 p.m. is in 2 hours, latest in 2 hours, in 1 hour and 45 minutes. And I guess, I mean, it's not unrealistic it will take place in 45 minutes. Because, I mean, a lot of times, 1 hour in advance of an earnings call, the results will get released. But on the other hand, it can happen any moment, and this is what I expected, honestly, guys. So don't blame me, please, for this. Sometimes it is how it is. Let's go back to the financial center. Maybe something is happening, but no, unfortunately not. Again, guys, I mean, I will stay awake, and I will think about to switch on one more time later on the stream or start another stream. I will stick now in this call till my battery go off, and that is 18 minutes, what is displayed. So not that far ago. Then you can go to bed as well, depending on where you're located. However, still waiting. I mean, it's very unregular, this situation, or very, very new. It's not happening that often. That it's the second time actually that the results not getting released by a company and a stream I'm guiding and backing. However, it is how it is. And to be honest, I just bought 33 shares just because I was bored and I need something to chase. Kamal, yeah. Yeah, sorry. That's maybe you should invest in another company which already released their results today. However, and I think actually Grab is not the most exciting company in this regard. Buying shares of Nvidia, of MicroStrategy, or some semiconductor companies, some cybersecurity companies, even PayPal or something like this might be more interesting, or investing in crypto money for sure. But I can tell you, or at least my opinion about this is, being a shareholder of 33 shares of the company is definitely not a bad investment. I mean, can pay off in the future, and it's always fun to have some blood in the game and have some ownership, and not following some streams or some earnings without being invested. You know, it's always more exciting. But guys, really, I think it's really nonsense that to keep this stream alive, because it's not taking place. I mean, we could go through this, and here, for instance, they stated their outlook, and again, it was in terms of revenue not that strong, just EBITDA as well, and okay, but revenue was not that strong. However, not ran out well. Let me check one more time. I can feel it already that as soon as I leave the call, the results will get publicated, yeah, or will get announced. But however, it is how it is. I mean, the thing is, I mean, I prepared for you this Excel sheet, as you can see, and to fill it with all the information and to take care of the data. I think it's nonsense to stay now in the car and wait for 10 more minutes till I'm 100% out of battery. But really, I go home. I think I dine something. I eat a small portion of food. I charge up a little bit the battery of my notebook, and I'm not sure how high is the chance, but maybe I will switch on one more time the stream. So if you are interested, subscribe. It's not the way how I like to find my subscribers, but I recommend to subscribe, and there is a chance that I switch on again in a few moments. As soon as the results are live, I will check them, because I can't go to bed right now. I really want to figure out or want to know what is going on with this company. And so yeah, again, one more time, it's not unlikely that I go live when they are released in the latest in 1 hour and 40 minutes. But I could imagine it happen earlier, and I could imagine it's very likely in the next 40 minutes. I think that's realistic when we talk about the release. So one more time, I update the results, but it's still not present yet. So guys, thank you very much, Exit. Highly appreciate, really, that you subscribed and that you support me through this session. And it's always nice to be outside here, not alone. When I had this more than 3 hours a stream session a year ago with Nu, I was there with one single person, I think, in the stream, and this guy helped me a lot to went through these difficult times of my life. So I appreciate all of you guys. Uber left and bought piece of Grab rather than fight with them. That added to my conviction that, yeah, 100%. And I mean, it's a difficult and very competitive market, and it shows really how strong Uber is. And I mean, another positive sign is that Foodpanda sells their business, or Delivery Hero sells their. No. That's not the case with the girl, but actually, that Delivery Hero wants to sell the Foodpanda business. I mean, in general, they have on their agenda and their strategy Delivery Hero to be profitable in the future because they're burning a lot of cash, and they want to sell the more unprofitable businesses, and that means that Foodpanda is not profitable. I think not close from my feeling actually in the Southeast Asia, and they want to sell it because they figure out, okay, very likely they will not. It will not turn profitable soon, yeah, and that's as well a very positive sign in my perspective, yeah. Okay, guys. However, last time I updated. So if you like, for instance, Exit or Kamal or Ed Lee or Stanley, one more time, very thankful that you joined. But stay tuned, and if you like, very likely you will see part of my home a few moments in the future as soon as the earnings are released, because I don't want to leave it like this, guys. I don't want to leave it like this, yeah, really not. So let me go quickly off, and we will see each other soon, and thank you very much for joining. If I'm not coming online, please don't take it negative, then I decide differently, but I'm very convinced that I will go on live in a few moments as soon as the earnings are released. Thank you very much as well, Axel. Thank you very much to the rest. I appreciate this. Hope to see you later on, and if not on Monday on the other stream, but very likely later on. All the best. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye. And take care and stay healthy. That's very important, more important than any money in the world. All the best.